win in a fight between the strongest gym bro Gigachad or the boundless level Quandale Dingle. We're gonna go over their feats, power level, and strength to see who would win in a meme battle. These characters are gonna be put against each other and ranked in varying categories. These categories include IQ, speed, influence, durability, hacks, and strength. Just because one character may have more categories than another character doesn't mean they win, because some parts are more important than others. Without further ado, let's get into the first category, IQ. Let's start off with Gigachad. Gigachad is the only character in the memeverse to be able to out-drip Goku. That takes a phenomenal amount of fashion sense and IQ to be able to pull something that crazy off. In fact, he was able to use his wit alone to be able to get all Twitch emotes. This includes Omega LOL, PogChamp, KegW, and all the other emotes that you have on Twitch. To be able to break the fourth wall like this is completely unheard of, and Gigachad owning all of these emotes is completely unmatched because no other memeverse character has any of these emotes. In fact, when he left Planet Fitness, he was even challenged by Four Fingers Beast Boy and completely outsmarted him during that fight. He displayed a lot of IQ over many hours, being able to pull through that fight against Four Fingers Beast Boy when Four Fingers Beast Boy was at the pinnacle of his powers. On top of that, he's one of the only characters to know who Nathaniel B is. Let's take a look at Quandale Dingle's IQ. As I've said many times, Quandale Dingle knows numerous jujitsu like flex tape jujitsu and gritty jujitsu. Being able to know, master, and be the best at both of these jujitsus takes a lot of IQ. On top of that, Quandale Dingle knows who Carmen Winston is. In fact, he's the only character to know who Carmen Winston is. Every time you hear the audio, "Hi, my name is Carmen Winston," only Quandale Dingle knows the answer to that question. Lastly, Quandale Dingle definitely has knowledge on atoms and molecules, as he can manipulate reality. However, overall IQ would have to go to Gigachad, and it's not close. Quandale Dingle's IQ is nothing compared to Gigachad. Knowing who Nathaniel B is way more valuable than knowing who Carmen Winston is. And although Quandale Dingle can manipulate reality, so can Gigachad. And also, knowing flex tape and gritty jujitsu isn't really a comeback for Gigachad knowing how to out-drip Goku. Therefore, IQ goes to Gigachad. Let's move on to speed, where we're gonna start with Quandale Dingle. Quandale Dingle has outsped the cameraman. As we already know, the cameraman is fast enough to record everything in reality, meaning that he can record light and essentially the universe. So Quandale Dingle being able to outspeed the recorder of the universe is insane. Quandale Dingle is also fast enough to travel through the memeverse, not through just one dimension, but through multiple dimensions. In fact, Quandale Dingle was able to travel to the 21st dimension, meaning that he's fast enough to bridge the dimensional gap between dimensions. Last but not least, he was even able to outspeed Daniel Larson, who he's fought on multiple occasions. In their first battle, he may have been overwhelmed, but after that, he was able to outspeed Daniel Larson in multiple scenarios. Now let's take a look at Gigachad's speed. Gigachad outsped Big Chungus. Prime Big Chungus was also able to travel through universes at will, so Gigachad being able to outspeed him is a crazy feat in and of itself. On top of that, Gigachad also has the ability to flash step and teleport. It's actually surprising that only a handful of memeverse characters can actually flash step effectively. A lot of characters run out of meme energy, but Gigachad just has so much energy he can flash step whenever he wants to. On top of that, Gigachad trained for 24 hours every day for 2 years, giving him the calf strength to be able to travel extremely quickly. In fact, it was even proven that he could keep up with Andrew Tate's Bugatti base form. So who gets a speed category overall? Well, that would have to be Quandale Dingle. Although Gigachad has some impressive feats like outspeeding Big Chungus, Quandale Dingle outspeeding the cameraman just completely trumps all of it. Even the cameraman can outspeed Andrew Tate's Bugatti rather easily. So overall speed goes to Quandale Dingle. Now let's move on to influence. Let's start off with the influence of Quandale Dingle. Quandale Dingle created Goofy Productions, which has produced many hit singles. In fact, he's even broken the fourth wall and produced audios on TikTok. This is why you see audios like "Hey, it's Quandale Dingle here," and many other popular Quandale Dingle audios all over the app. Quandale Dingle also has many different meme compilations. He also has many different remixes on Spotify, Apple Music, and even YouTube Music. Quandale Dingle is also a legend in the memeverse. Everybody knows his name and everybody knows who he is. On top of that, he even has the Capybara Army. This is a very powerful army that does many things for Quandale Dingle and trains constantly. But let's take a look at Gigachad's influence. Gigachad is an inspiration to all gym bros. A lot of people who go to the gym admire Gigachad. On top of that, Gigachad alone popularized the legendary Gigachad face. This face alone gives base stat boosts of at least 20 in every category. And anyone who does this face joins the Gigachad army. The Gigachad army has thousands of members that all protect Gigachad. On top of that, Gigachad's crazy gains are all over the memeverse. When people think of the most aesthetic characters in the memeverse, they think of Gigachad. Because of all of this, I'm giving the slight edge to Gigachad in influence. His army's larger and more significant. The Gigachad face is extremely popular. Although Goofy Productions are widespread, Gigachad's gains alone are enough to trump that. So influence goes goes to Gigachad. Let's move on to the next category, durability. Gigachad has extreme durability, being able to fight off Gru and the cameraman at the same time. On top of that, Gigachad has enough weight to withstand a multiverse. As shown in chapter 21 of the Nathaniel B manga, he was pretty much repping a multiverse for warm-up training. Remember, a multiverse is a continuation of multiple omniverses, galaxies, and all other planetary substances. So Gigachad having the extreme strength to be able to just lift that is crazy. Let's take a look at Quandale Dingle's durability. Quandale Dingle was able to survive, take numerous blows, and defeat King Bob at 100% with Excalibur. If you don't know what Excalibur is, it's the strongest item in the memeverse, no debate. Only one person wields it, and that's King Bob. He was even able to take a blow from and destroy the Cumulala Sylvester fusion Cumula Vesta. Their Cumula Vesta fresh trim blast was enough to destroy 50 universes. So as a result of this, the winner of the durability category is Quandale Dingle. His feats are just significantly greater. And although Gigachad lifted a multiverse, King Bob's Excalibur strikes way harder than the weight of a multiverse. So durability goes to Quandale Dingle. Let's take a look at another category, hacks. Quandale Dingle in his strongest form, Omega Dingle, can manipulate reality. Essentially what that means is that he can rewrite minds, rewrite characters, and completely rewrite an entire storyline like Cosmic Armor Superman. In fact, he's so powerful in this form that he was able to just think characters out of existence. On top of that, he can outdo boundless level brainwashing like Shrek's. He can restore other characters to storylines, meaning that his hacks is almost limitless. But let's take a look at Gigachad's hacks. Boundless to Megachad Gigachad, Gigachad's strongest form is also able to manipulate reality. On top of that, he can make instant gains within seconds, allowing him to get massive muscle and even buff his stats with no potions. And when Gigachad makes gains, he can also make the Giga Army get gains. However, overall hacks would have to go to Quandale Dingle. The sheer fact that Quandale Dingle can pretty much manipulate reality, minds, and characters in and out of a storyline is completely overpowered. And although Boundless and Megachad Gigachad can manipulate reality, he cannot do it to that extent. Therefore, Quandale Dingle has more hacks and takes this category. Now let's take a look at their strength. By strength, I'm going with raw strength alone and no other abilities. Let's take a look at Gigachad's raw strength. As I mentioned before, Gigachad lifted a multiverse. In fact, he was even able to withstand the force of wearing the Infinity Gauntlet. Most beings would disintegrate at the sheer force of the Infinity Gauntlet, but Gigachad was able to withstand it and harness the power. In fact, Gigachad also used his raw strength to find out what Pot of Greed does. And on top of that, although he lost his first arm wrestle to Metro Man, in the second arm wrestle he destroyed him. Now let's take a look at Quandale Dingle's raw strength. He was able to defeat 100% King Bob. He even stopped 2 black holes from colliding. And one of his strongest feats, he waved off Shaggy 1 trillion%. But overall, Gigachad would have to take the W in the strength category. Simply finding out what Pot of Greed does is an insane feat and simply trumps a lot of Quandale Dingle's feats. On top of that, he defeated Metro Man in an arm wrestle, which completely off-puts Quandale, stopping 2 black holes from colliding. So who would win in a fight? The Giga Army and the Capybara would clash, with the Giga Army coming out on top. However, Quandale Dingle would easily be able to wave them off despite their massive gains. Gigachad and Quandale Dingle would clash. The intense strength of Gigachad would begin to start overpowering Quandale Dingle, but Quandale Dingle would start manipulating reality. He'd start using cosmic forces to fight against Gigachad, but Gigachad is strong enough to lift a multiverse, so he could lift that easily. Gigachad would go into his strongest form, Boundless and Megachad Gigachad, and start manipulating Quandale Dingle's reality. However, Quandale Dingle would manipulate the entire storyline of the battle to end in Quandale Dingle's victory. The final result, Quandale clears. Thanks for watching this video, and make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed. See ya!